everyone, thank you for coming watch. I've got an update for you guys on everything that's going to be happening with all your major upcoming snowstorms. We have many things to talk about. I know this is probably the longest update that I've done in my channel so far. It's probably approaching 40 minutes, so we'll check this out. But we have a very long update for you guys. As you can see, I have a million tabs open, so that kind of tells you that we're going to be taking a look at every location in the U.S. with your 5 different storm systems. You're going to have 2 impacting California and the West Coast. You're going to have a severe weather event here in the South. We're really going to dive into that. And you have your major winter storm here coming for North Central. Also, you're going to get that winter storm for the Northeast, and you've been dealing with some snow. So it's a million things to talk about. I know you can't see my face. It's because that the screen recorder the screen recorder that I use would be so glitchy that if I did put on my camera, it would just not shut down basically. So that's why, if you're wondering. But you should be able to see my face again this evening if I do an update for you guys. If not, it'll probably be tomorrow. I'll just kind of be a little flexible with my schedule, but we'll try and pump out some more content for you guys, and I think we should get into the update. So as you can see, that right now you do have this snow here that's definitely been active lately. It's trying to get going, but it hasn't been able to drop that much snow. We have been dealing with some possible heavy snow here across the coastal areas of New Jersey, the Delmarva area. I think you guys are definitely going to get at least an inch of snow. But this is interesting because I think you're going to get the most snow farther south. You do also have a band of snowfall approaching Boston at the moment. Let me get your times here. So a little bit after 3:30, I think is where you're going to see the most snow move into Boston, but it's mostly going to be central to east central Massachusetts. I think that's where you're going to see the most snow. Here's your system that's pretty much midway throughout Southern California. This has actually been changing to mostly rain. You've been dealing with a lot less snow lately, so around the late afternoon hours, you're going to see a lot more rain unless you're in central and maybe the mountain ranges of California. I think that's where you're going to see the snow. But otherwise, if you're not living in central or the mountain ranges of California, I think you're mostly going to see rain. And then you do have a little rain event here that's been streaking across the southeast. This has been moving through the Tennessee Valley into parts of North Carolina, and eventually possibly South Carolina. You guys could have some showers out there. And it's just kind of a few pieces of energy that have been moving through today, and then we'll continue watching these systems, but I think the main system is really going to be from this one here. So this system is actually going to be what's going to be producing that severe weather and that massive winter storm here for the Northeast. So we're going to break all this down, and we're going to start with your alerts. So you can see that it's really not terrible outside, but you do have some stuff that we have to discuss here. So you got blizzard warnings. So you're not gonna believe this, but Los Angeles, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, is currently under a blizzard warning. We haven't even gotten an inch in New York City here all winter, and Los Angeles is under a blizzard warning. I mean, this is crazy, guys. Winter storm warnings kind of stretching from parts of Washington State, a few counties in northern Oregon, some counties in central and south central Nevada, and then here you can see in Arizona, mainly northern and central Arizona, but a few other counties in Arizona also in this winter storm warning. This goes through all the mountain ranges of California. Blizzard warnings out for you guys as well. We have some flash flood warnings here. Goes out for Southern California. So like I said earlier, Southern California, I think that's where you're going to see that very heavy rain threat, but you may have 1 or 2 snow showers that could move through. But it's mainly going to be Central California for those snow showers. You have some dust storm warnings that go out for New Mexico here. I mean, it's been very dry out here for New Mexico because one, you don't have much energy that's been around here for the west south central, but you have been having very gusty winds. As you can see, you have some high wind warnings, high wind watches, and wind advisories. This all goes out for parts of western Texas, all of New Mexico, and then a little bit of southern Colorado. So we're definitely going to continue watching these winds. I don't think necessarily in this update, but if we have time, we might do one tomorrow and maybe possibly a slim chance tonight. But you're gonna have dry conditions, and then those really gusty winds. So it's just gonna, kind of push that dust around and push that dirt around, and it's gonna be a little dusty out there. So you kind of want to watch out for that. Flood advisories that do go out for some of northern Illinois, northern Indiana, and then just a few counties in your northwestern parts of Ohio. So, that's pretty much what's been happening in the last few hours. So, we're going to be taking a look now briefly at California power outages. So we're mainly going to focus on California for now. I just do want to show you guys that the cleanup, it's still going. It's very slow. You still have over 400,000 customers without power in Michigan. This has been ongoing, this system it's obviously done now, but, that system was ongoing for many hours. So, it's definitely pumped out all of its impacts, and it's really packed a punch here for Michigan. So, the cleanup's pretty slow, but it soon should get back to normal, and these power outage numbers should slowly start to decline and get pulled back down to normal. Californians, I really think that you guys have to wait maybe a week or two until you finally get a few less power outages. But look at this, 123,628 customers without power in California. I mean, this is crazy. We're gonna click on just the state of California. I think it was like 2 days ago or yesterday, we took a look at this map. You had one county that had more than 4,000 power outages. Look how many counties here are in this orange, which is over 18,000. This is 3,000 here. I mean, this is crazy, guys. Look at this in, what is Inyo? I think this is Inyo. This is a pretty big county in California, I gotta tell you. But you got 3,818 customers without power here. We got another county here of Mariposa. This is 6,267 customers without power. If I'm saying these counties wrong, that's on me. I'm trying my best out here, but that's the reason. But even in these counties with the blue, that does not mean that you have a way less chance of losing power. It just means that the power outages haven't been that high yet. And still, you can see, look, I mean, this is in San Bernardino. I think I'm saying that wrong, but 989 customers without power. So you're approaching 1,000 customers without power. So it definitely does not mean that this is slowing down. This is 2,327 in Kern, Los Angeles. Here you go. I mean, this is basically where that blizzard warning was. So Los Angeles, 33,997 customers without power. So you guys in Los Angeles, I know it's been tough. It's been raining a lot. It's gonna continue raining a few more inches, but you soon should see a little bit less wind, a little bit less snow and rain. So, I think it's going to be mainly rain, but you're definitely going to have that heavy snow because you wouldn't have blizzard warnings out for this entire area if you didn't have snow. So you have to have at least, like, I would say a foot of snow in order to have those blizzard warnings out. But yeah, I just want to let you guys know that the whole state of California in general is pretty much under this very large risk for power outages. So we're gonna move on to basically the radar, the upcoming radar for your system. We're not gonna be looking at this system up here that's about to drop down. We're just gonna be taking a look at basically what's gonna be looking like for the rest of this system. So this was 8 a.m. this morning. It's just after 4 o'clock, so you can see that you had a lot more snow. I mean, you had some storms down here in Southern California. When I say storms, I mean thunderstorms here, so off the coast of Southern California. But look at this. Central and the interior parts of California, I would say you guys could definitely have at least 6 inches of snow, I think, for all these areas. But we're going to skip ahead to where we are now. So this is 4 p.m. And you can see that this actually has been lifting out just a bit here from California. So you haven't been dealing with that much precipitation unless you're living near the mountain ranges or in central California. You have been having some snow. Maybe Southern California dealing with on and off rain and snow kind of battling together. But this moves into Nevada, and it's going to snow a lot. It's looking like it's going to be mostly snow, maybe a glimpse of rain there, but it's mainly going to be all snow unless, I mean, this does get into Arizona, becoming just a northern snowstorm and a southern snowstorm. Kind of divides the state in half. But yeah, that's pretty much going to go on its own journey, and then you're stuck with this next system that we're going to leave for a future update. So, we're going to be now taking a look at your, this is your snowfall totals. So this goes at 21 hours, so exactly how much time we need for the full duration of this system. This does not include the system dropping out from the northwest. This is just the one that's impacting now. We're going to start out in the mountain ranges of California, topping off at about a foot. So you're definitely going to have excessive amounts of snowfall, and then rainfall, obviously, here in the southern and coastal areas of California. But, I mean, even if you're living in the areas around these mountains, if you're living in any area where you can see a mountain, I think you guys should expect at least half a foot of snow. Let's go to Southern California. So we're talking about an area near Los Angeles. Look at this, 18 inches of snow. This is a county way down south here, almost in Mexico here, but the Mexico and California border, you're getting up to 12 inches, aka a foot of snow. But it's definitely, there's no doubt that it's not gonna snow. It's definitely, or there's no doubt that it will snow. We're past that. We're way past that. It's just we don't know exactly where we're gonna see the most snow. It's a pretty sharp cutoff here between the mountain ranges and central California to this little section here of southwest California. It's a very sharp cutoff because you got over a foot of snow right here, then maybe 60 miles to the west of it, or sorry, the east of it, 0 inches. So, it's something to consider watching because this could definitely change. But I would not be surprised if these areas here that haven't been told that they're going to get any snow suddenly are forecasted to get at least like 4 inches of snow. That will not be surprising to me. But yeah, I mean, we'll go to Arizona here. This would be northwestern Arizona. You could get a pretty good winter storm out of this. Up to 6 inches of snow here. Southern Nevada, up to 13 inches. I would go for mostly southwest Nevada. And then mainly central Nevada is where you're going to see that 5 to 9 inch range. So we're going to be now taking a look at the northeast. So we've been dealing with some snow showers that have been moving through. A little piece of energy has definitely been showing some signs of life here, but this has mainly made it out to sea. So this was 9 a.m. this morning. you had snow that's been trying to move through New York City, New Jersey, the Trenton area, Philadelphia, and pretty much New York State and northern Pennsylvania. I wouldn't say southern Pennsylvania quite, unless this secondary piece of energy does decide that it will move through. And here you go. This moves through the southern areas of southern Pennsylvania and then southern New Jersey, giving maybe an inch or two of snow. I don't know, but it definitely snowed and it could have been heavy at times. For you guys in southern New Jersey, Delmarva area, so Delaware, all you guys, DC, I think that's where you're gonna see, or that was where you did see the most snow. So, like I said, it is actually after 4 o'clock, but it's still barely snowing here across the coastal regions of New Jersey and Delaware. So maybe you guys in DC are still experiencing a few flurries out there, but for the most part, it should be over. So you're not going to see much major accumulations. I really don't think so. It's just a little bit of snow event for you guys in the southern mid Atlantic, but and the I-95 corridor. But you know, by the end of this, you should have some cold, very cold and dry conditions. Maybe a leftover low pressure could pop off here in southern Canada, delivering a little bit of snow for the northern areas of New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, and then maybe even Maine. But you know, we'll continue watching that as that could kind of sweep down through Maine and then move into the Atlantic. So we're going to be taking a look here at the North Central. So we're pretty much up to your major system here. So you can see that the North Central has been dry. We'll actually take a look at your temperatures here just to get an idea of what we're talking. So you can see that it's looking like it's mainly south is where you're getting those a little bit above freezing temperatures, but it's mainly below freezing. You're seeing widespread teens, 20s, and then very low 30s. So the cold air is there. But watch as we continue this, and as your storm system moves through and moves in, this cold air quickly retreats. It's almost like it's backpedaling here, allowing this warm air to surge northward. Look at South Dakota. Parts of North Dakota are over 32 degrees. Most of South Dakota is well above that freezing mark. Temperatures are going to get above normal here. Look at the 40s and 30s here across the Ohio Valley and the Central Plains. I mean, it's not going to be warm, but it's not going to be cold. I'll tell you that. It might be a little chilly, but I mean, I would say the warm air is mainly going to be in Minnesota, Wisconsin, and maybe northern Iowa. But Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio, all you guys, still not going to be cold. And this is exactly when your storm is going to hit, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll switch it to exactly where we are. And no, so the storm's not exactly here yet. So let me skip ahead to where the storm arrives. So, I guess the biggest point in the storm would be the 27th. So this is out 49 hours. So we'll switch this back to temperatures. Yep, still above normal. I mean, this is now you're warm. I'll tell you. Okay, so now you are warm. And you are getting temperatures now entering Minnesota, Wisconsin, all you guys that have been cold like all winter. But I want you to pay attention here. Look at the border between Indiana and Illinois. Widespread lower 60s and upper 50s. It's going to be early spring, like warmth out here. And look at Kentucky, now getting to the mid 60s, getting into parts of Tennessee, and then even Missouri. I would say you guys could definitely see widespread 50s and upper 40s. And then southern Wisconsin and Minnesota, it's going to be in the 30s, and then maybe even the 40s. I don't know. But this is exactly when this storm hits. Switch it back to the radar here. And here you go. You're gonna have snow and ice both mixing together here across Wisconsin. You're gonna have thunderstorms. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. You are definitely gonna have thunderstorms across Iowa, southern and central Wisconsin, and Minnesota. There's no doubt about that. It's way too late to change this. But let me get back to here because we switched to the wrong part. Look at this. This continues into parts of northern Wisconsin. You're gonna have strong to intense thunderstorms that are definitely gonna move through Wisconsin, Minnesota, Michigan, the Ohio Valley, but especially Illinois. I think this is where you're going to see that damaging wind threat. Watch as this forms its frontal line here, and it just has this line of supercells here. But, I mean, when you see this, like, scattered storms here, I mean, this tells you that, they haven't formed that frontal line. When these storms form the frontal line, that's when you have the damaging wind threat and your tornado risk is over. But when you have this, like, kind of scattered risk here, the scattered thunderstorms here, that's where you have that slightly elevated tornado risk. I'm saying it's possible because you have the cold air that's mixing with this warm air, exactly where that low pressure is heading. So the border, if I could draw, which I can't because I'm not using my screen recorder, I would draw a line here. It cuts right through the path of this thing. So where you could see tornadoes, I would say it's definitely in southern Wisconsin and northern Illinois. I think it's pretty low, but it's definitely possible. Looking like a nasty wintry mix. Maybe a little bit of an ice storm here for northern parts of Wisconsin here, some parts of central and east central Minnesota, and then that snow finally starts to fall here. It's been trying to fall for like hours here. This is 27th, so the start time of this would probably be for the north central. The start time of this would probably be like very late night tomorrow into the overnight hours of tomorrow, and then that's when you're going to start seeing that snow that's going to fall. I think the snow's going to fall once you guys start to wake up. So if you're waking up in northern Wisconsin and northern Minnesota, you're going to wake up to a winter wonderland. It is going to be snowing like crazy. Look how intense this snow gets, though. I mean, it gets very heavy here. We're going to shortly take a look at your snowfall totals, but man, is it going to get heavy here across northern Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Michigan. But these storms do move through Ohio and southern Michigan, so these storms will definitely continue. I mean, when I say storms, I mean thunderstorms. They're definitely going to continue moving, pressing east. And then this will finally move into the northeast around the 27th. But man, is it going to be a very strong storm. On the backside of this, you're going to get snow in all these areas other than central and southern Michigan. The temperatures are going to be a bit too warm for that snow, so it's looking like it's going to be a little bit of a few rain showers that will move through on the backside. So, we're going to be moving to the severe weather part of this. So this is where things get really dangerous. Okay? So, we have a very large risk for damaging winds. Tornadoes is a bit lower, so that's a good thing. When you see a very high risk, what we're going to talk about, I'm going to show you the SPC consecutive outlook here for severe storms. The tornado risk is low, so it's looking like you're not going to see tornadoes. I don't want you to say that you just heard me say that the tornado risk is low, and I don't want you to go out and say, "Oh, no tornadoes here." It's still possible. It's not likely, but it's still possible throughout the border between southern Oklahoma and northern Texas. But what I'm saying is the wind threat is going to be higher than the tornado threat, meaning that the tornado threat's going to be a little bit lower than the wind threat. So we're going to break this system down. Okay, so here it comes. You got snow entering New Mexico and Colorado, approaching the panhandle of Texas here. This would be 4 p.m. tomorrow. So 4 p.m. On your Sunday afternoon. Watch as we get into 6 p.m. So the evening hours of Sunday, or aka tomorrow. We have storms firing across Kansas, southern Missouri, and Oklahoma. These storms are going to be very damaging, maybe tornado warned, I don't know. But look at this little curve it has on each and every one of these possible supercells here. I think the main threat is definitely going to be all eyes here on the 3 states here of Kansas, Oklahoma, and Missouri. I think that's where you're going to see the most storms. But look here in southern Nebraska, you're going to have some storms too. It's almost like old times in the summer where you would have storms in areas where it's like freezing right now. But here you go. Here you have it. I mean, you have storms that will definitely move through at least southern Nebraska. But watch as we continue this throughout the overnight hours. So this is midnight tomorrow night. And this continues barreling towards Missouri. And you're getting very strong storms that are going to move through. This just moved out of Texas. You guys in Arkansas, I think you're going to miss out on this one. I mean, this is a good thing because, usually when these storms hit, they're usually a lot farther south. So, this is a little bit more like the old tornado alley, like the Central Plains. So this is not kind of a new tornado alley type of storm, meaning that, you know how tornadoes have been moving or shifting, the tornado threat has been shifting east. This one's looking like more of a Central Plains type of severe weather outbreak that's possible. But this will finally move out, and you should have some partly sunny skies, looking like this would be late Sunday night into Monday. So, we're going to be taking a look now at your SBC risk. I think I deleted it, actually. I deleted the tab. Okay, so, I don't know what I did here. Alright. Okay, so, so I think I got rid of that. I will show you guys that in a different update. Alright. So, because I deleted that, I'll actually have to show that to you guys in a different update. So, I'll do a separate video. It's probably going to be 20 seconds maybe. But I'm just going to briefly talk about the SBC risk. And then I'll obviously go over that radar again. But I apologize for that. I completely messed up there. I accidentally hit the close tab. But I really want to make sure that I get this in for you guys, because that is very important information for tomorrow and for your safety. So, we're going to be taking a look for the last part of the update, the last few parts of the update, which will be basically these few rounds of major winter storms. You're going to have a huge storm that's going to move through the Northeast, giving a potential for major snowfall totals across the mid-Atlantic. So, let me just break this down for you guys. So, we're going to be now, this is the GFS, and I'm going to play this. So, here's your storm system here in California. You got a low pressure system of 1,008 millibars. Let me put this way back. We are not there. Okay. So, let me continue moving this. Here we go. And we still don't get anything, but here's your severe weather event. This is where it starts. Right around, when would this be? Okay, so this would be Monday. So, I don't know what time this would be, but this would be somewhere around the early morning hours of Monday. Here goes your severe weather. So the GFS, so the FV3 actually is disagreeing with the GFS on the timing of this. They're both agreeing on a severe weather event, but the FV3 said a lot earlier, a whole day earlier, actually. But look at this. I mean, this is I mean, this is when the NV3 said that the severe weather event would start. I'm not seeing any precipitation here across the Central Plains until Monday, which is when this storm finally begins. And then this starts moving into the north central. Look at all this ice here. I mean, this is crazy ice here. Crazy ice storm and a very nasty mix, wintry mix for you guys in northern areas of Wisconsin and Michigan. But then it's all rain and thunderstorms for the rest of you guys. And yeah, so we're going to continue playing this. And then watch as this quickly, it's almost like a snap. In a snap, it just quickly changes to back into your old-fashioned snow here. But once we move into the northeast, it's going to be all snow starting out for all of you guys. But then you're going to start seeing a little bit more of a wintry mix, so maybe some sleet mixing in with that snow across northern areas of Pennsylvania. And then this moves into New Jersey, Philadelphia, and New York City, giving some, maybe some heavy snowfall at first, but then quickly changing back to that sleet and frozen precipitation. But yeah, that will move out probably. The GFS is saying that'll move out by Tuesday. So I would say the transition between Monday and Tuesday is where you're going to see that storm system at its peak. So that's going to move out, but as a very strong winter storm for Boston, I think you're going to see some pretty high snowfall totals from that one. Then you're going to get two separate low pressures here that are going to try and form something. Looks like this is this is Wednesday, so like midweek next week. I think these guys are going to try and form something together. And then here you have another low pressure. This one belongs to this 996 low pressure here that's working with this second system for California. And then these two start to pair. And here you go. You get another line of storms that begins to charge through the northeast, giving a pretty good rainstorm for you guys across the east coast and the eastern seaboard. And then here comes another system starting very far south. So, like I said in many updates, the traditional nor'easter setup is starting south, like staying true to the coast and starting south, and then moving, not with a jet stream, but moving farther east. So a little bit out in the waters as the western side of it clips through the northeast. That's what a nor'easter does, because you have enough room for that cold air to be in place. Warm air always follows a storm system. Cold air is either in place or it just gets pushed out of the way because of how strong these systems get. I mean, look at this. This is 987 millibars. But, as I play this, you can see that it does stay inland. The GFS wants this system to stay inland and not to go out to the southeast. But it's looking like it could be a severe weather event for maybe Kentucky, maybe southern Illinois. So Illinois, Missouri, Kentucky, again, getting another possible severe weather outbreak. And then very heavy snow going for New York State, Pennsylvania, but then quickly changing back to some rain, maybe some thunderstorms. You're going to get a very strong band of very heavy snow that's going to move through New York City, northern Pennsylvania, and southern mid-Atlantic. But when this moves out, look at this ice and sleet that's going to move through northern New Hampshire, Boston, Rhode Island. So you're going to get snow with this too. But I mean, it's almost looking like a Winter Storm Elliott kind of setup. And then once this low pressure system cuts right through Long Island, you're going to get some very intense rainstorms here. But I mean, it's going to stay all snow for all the northern areas of Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, and New York State, and maybe in even Pennsylvania. So it's gonna transition back and forth between snow, rain, and mix, and then a few ice, maybe a few ice storm, maybe a few like hours of ice or frozen precipitation, but that'll finally move out. The GFS, the timing for this, as I get rid of the sounding, 1 second guys, let me get back to here. So the timing for this, the GFS wants this to be at its peak around Saturday. So next Saturday, so like this upcoming Saturday is where you're going to have the the strongest part of the system when it comes to the Northeast. And then it says it's gonna. And then the GFS is saying that this should move out probably by this is Saturday as well, so looking like late night Saturday into the very early morning hours of Sunday. So here comes one last system we could take a look at. Actually, let's just skip ahead to the European model because we're so far out. And I'm just going to be briefly looking at this because my siblings are coming up here. They're going to get pretty noisy. But, the European model is definitely agreeing with the GFS on 2 possible major snowstorms for the South Atlantic and the eastern U.S. So we're going to put this to the forecast loop so we can get this hour by hour, or not hour by hour, but few hours by few hours. So here comes your first system. Let me get you to where that is. So here's the European timing for this. Now I want to see if the European wants to agree with the GFS on the timing for this, or if the European is going to be kind of on the FV3 side for the timing of that severe weather. So let's head back to where that severe weather. Okay. So yeah, this is saying Monday. So the FV3 kind of has a mind of its own here. The GFS and the European are both agreeing on this severe weather event directly midday to early morning hours of Monday. And then this moves into the north central. You got your snowstorm, and then watch as this looks like a lot more snow from the European than the GFS for Long Island, New York City, maybe even Pennsylvania and northern New Jersey. I think it's gonna be a few bands of very heavy snow for you guys, and then maybe a nasty wintry mix, maybe a few a few hours of sleet mixing in with there. But then again, the European is saying a very strong winter storm for Boston. I think we have all eyes on Boston for this one. And then we're going to get to the next one here. Here comes the next one, and it's agreeing. The European is agreeing with the GFS on a possible severe weather event for the eastern areas of the U.S., meaning Kentucky, Missouri, and southern Illinois. And then this moves into the northeast, looking like all rain for Long Island, but a very nasty wintry mix for southern New York State, Boston, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island, and Ohio. But it's going to snow a lot with this one. I think it's going to snow a lot more with this one than the one that's more upcoming. And then a very strong piece of energy with this system will deliver a lot of rain to Long Island and those areas around it. So that's going to be it for the European. And I'm going to show you guys quickly because we don't have the blend of all models, but I'm just going to show you the possible snowfall totals. I'll put this out 180 hours. And yeah, you can see that the potential is out there. I'll tell you guys that. Look at this, 15, 17 inches here. I'm going to wrap this up really quickly, 30 inches here. So I just want to let you guys know the few weeks ahead are going to be very active with these storms and very dangerous. That's going to wrap up the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, like, share, comment, subscribe if you're not subscribed to the channel. I'll catch you guys in the next update. So we'll see you guys probably tomorrow, maybe even tonight. So catch you guys in the next update. See you guys.